I like clapping. I'm a big clapper. That's my dancing.
We did
I like to clap.
No
That's just. I don't know how to dance.
You're just in a
so
club.
to me, dancing is clapping. If I hear music, I'm like, I'll start a clap. I'll start slow claps. I'll start applause breaks.
Or is it like
all the time? Kevin Hart made fun of me for clapping because I clapped at myself. And I was like, but I felt rude. Everybody else was clapping. So in the interview, he was like, and you know, like, but we're already sitting and there's a little like 30 chairs for the audience for the interview. And he's like, so we're pretending that it like just started, you know, and he's like, all right, give it up for Jeff Horste. And then I'm just like, no. Yeah. And then he's like, did you just clap for yourself? And I'm like, I just like to clap.
So I'm just a clapper. I just like to clap. This is my thing.
So, yeah.
You just keep shutting lights off everywhere you go.
But all right, yeah, sorry.
What'd you do? We were supposed to end it.
I'm sorry. I guess now
apologize.
This is the Pizza and Hummus podcast.
So why would you listen to the Pizza and Hummus podcast?
Am I right, bada bing?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh! I laughed way too hard. That's the worst thing ever. And welcome back to the Pizza and Hummus podcast.
Hey.
What's going on, everybody? This is Vince, and obviously with Richie.
What's going on?
And we have a special guest today. We have Jeff Horste.
Hey,
What's going on?
nothing much. Happy to be here, guys. Thanks for having me.
Man, that sounded very scripted. It said in the script you were extremely happy.
Extremely. I'm
So-
sorry. Very was rude.
That was rude.
That was rude. I'm having an okay time.
It's going on.
This
Right?
is average at best. What if I was just? I'm having an average time,
Guys, I gotta be honest. This didn't change anything for my future. I'm gonna use none of this.
This is going to be worthless. So,
I told no one I was here.
so let's just start talking now.
Boom.
This is a good setup you guys got.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. We're slowly growing
Yeah.
in a way. Trying to get more stuff.
My brother always made. Well, my brother would like make beats a lot more when he was younger, and he just made his closet like all the sound stuff like on the walls.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he'd be recording people and everything. And my dad would never. My dad was always like the type of guy that would like he would try to make jokes, and he is funny. So sometimes it would be funny, but he was always trying to make a joke. So like a friend of my brother's would be like, he'd be recording him, like that's his music that's playing in the room right now, but. My dad doesn't know that that's him. He just thinks his friend's hanging out with him. So he'd be like, "Oh, you're making him listen to that crap."
Is he insulting?
Yeah, he's like, and he just laughed because he understood like the context of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like, all right, Dad, relax.
I think it's such a dad approach of just like the shotgun approach to comedy.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll tell 100 jokes.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
if
yeah.
one of them sticks.
One of them sticks. Yeah, that's.
Then I did a good job.
I still think the best dad joke goes to Richie's dad. So when we were all hanging out one day, we were making a video, and we used to get Game Informer magazine, like the GameStop video game magazine. He just comes in with the mail and goes, "Hey Richie, I got your gay man former." Smiles, leaves.
Wait for it. Waits for applause. He's like, all right, I'll see
It
you
was
guys
silence.
later.
He's like, that's my type. Yeah.
He gave the comedic pause, like let the audience laugh.
Do you ever see that when it doesn't hit? And it's just like, so I said, you take it.
Brad Wenzel, I saw him, maybe other people have done it before. I saw him do it first of like he has these one-liners, and so he has it all timed out, according to, you have to add in the laughing portion of your timing of the set. And I think he was the first person that I heard say like a joke didn't go over, and he still waited like 4 seconds and was like, I'm just still waiting for the laugh for what I'm used to.
I think I did
for
see
the
that.
timing of yeah.
I saw him when he headlined Ridley's last year, and
Okay.
it was just like, because I saw him do a few.
Oh
months.
yeah, I was there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm one of those shows.
Yeah, he did the intermission with Bob Seger.
Bob Seger,
Just
yeah.
like, it was just like,
Yeah.
like, you're not going to laugh anyway because everyone's
Yeah.
paying your bill. So
yeah, that was great. And I pointed out to him that I went to the Thursday show.
Yeah.
And I pointed out to him that it was funny that the only table of black people that were at that show were like, what is this shit? And they took out their phones and they put it on Shazam. and then they were like, yeah, it's Bob Seger. That's what I thought it was. And it was just so funny to me. And then I told
phone.
Brad, then I told Brad, and then he's like, that sounds about right. But it sounds like my
demographic.
it sounds like that's what my demographic could be. But he just thought it was the funniest thing too.
His new album or his album on Spotify is just like, it's unreal.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
love
good.
it.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy for everything he's doing, and it's good to see just other comedians locally seeing them doing well.
Yeah.
A lot of other scenes seem to be a lot more like. There's an endless amount. They're not going to stop making comedy tomorrow.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Nobody.
They might try.
Yeah. Nobody took your spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's an endless amount of shows. There's an endless. If you wait enough time, everybody has an opportunity for something. You know what I mean? Hopefully, but so it's better. I like the positive attitude that this community has, because there's so many other.
It really does.
Because when I was recording for the half hour that I have coming out, some of the other comics, and they were really cool, but some of them were just telling me about like the other comics are going to be jealous, or oh man, they've already been all the other comics in Chicago have already been hating on me, and man, they're just blah blah. I'm just like, wow, I've been getting texts of congratulations from nice people.
I get Venmoed money. I don't know why. It's $7, not a lot, but they're supporting me.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, man. I'm sorry to hear that. You seem like a nice guy, and I wish you all the best. I don't know what to tell you.
That's your whole response. I'm sorry.
Well, I think you hit it too, because you're talking about how like there's just an endless amount of spots. Whereas I feel like those people, they think, well, wait a minute, how come he's got that spot? I'm funnier than him. I should get on that spot or whatever. It starts getting jealous. Like there's a limited amount of spots. There's only one day all the TV shows are gonna be like, okay, we're done with comedy specials. That's
People
it.
don't like it. They voted.
They voted.
No
Exactly.
more. You have no more room. It's limited. Whereas I love how when you have a good community of just like, I want you to be funny, so that way I can laugh when I see you perform, and I can tell people, hey, this guy's funny, and then I get credibility of, oh, he recommended me this comedian. This guy's hilarious. It's great.
Yeah.
Versus like this, like almost like king of the hill. Like there's only one spot, and we all got to fight for it and get mad.
Yeah,
at
because
each other.
obviously everybody can't get everything.
Right.
So if everybody can't get everything anyways, then don't be so upset when somebody else gets a certain thing. I remember when I started, I was jealous of like, and I feel like I've always been good at acknowledging crappy emotions that I've had right away. Where I was like, oh, that was a stupid thought. Why did I think that? That was stupid, Jeff. But of like some people, they like were climbing the ladder, like at Mark Ridley's or something, for example. Where I'm like, that guy just started. He's already featuring, that type of attitude. And then I was like, but wait a second, he's doing something some guy likes him more than I do. That's good for him. Obviously he's doing something that I can look into and see, okay, well, what is it, because maybe that one club owner thinks this way, but another club owner thinks that way. Not everybody's on the same wavelength. So
it almost like reassures that, oh, cool, that's possible. I almost forgot for a minute. Because at least where I'm at, it seems it's sometimes like untouchable in that level. I'm just like, oh, I know him, and that's okay. Cool. This could happen. If I work hard.
Well, we've talked about like if there's someone that like you even kind of relatively know, and if they're doing successful, you feel like it's your kid winning. Right? You're like, oh, like I did this. One of us is making up to the big leagues.
To the big leagues, exactly.
Like
That's
wearing
exactly
the
what it
shirt
is.
with like your name on the back.
Yeah.
It's a sports.
All
team.
that t-ball practice was worth it. So you have a half-hour special coming up.
Yeah, this Friday, August 24th.
That's
11
crazy.
o'clock.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What if that was the end of us talking about
That was it. Hey, whatever. Hey,
that's great.
I when I recorded, I didn't even view it as a half-hour special for some reason. I don't know why. Like in my head, I was like, it was a show that was lasting a half hour. Like I understood that it was a half-hour special, but I guess I didn't think of it. it didn't really hit me until afterwards, where I was like, oh, that was my first half-hour special. I didn't just tell jokes for a half hour,
right?
And they were recorded for TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know.
It's
like
probably good
the
that
context,
you forgot until
yeah, like it was
happened.
like the context of it is, I didn't really, overthink it. I guess I was like, well, yeah, I'm gonna tell my best jokes that I can tell and go on and do what I can.
Do what I do. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, how many times did you only tape? It's a one and done taping, or is it? Oh wow, okay. Because I've always heard people like they'll tape like once or twice and then kind of get like the best of both, whatever.
Oh yeah. Not with this situation. There are 6 comics total for the season. 3 of us recorded on Friday, and 3 of us recorded on Saturday. And so the whole thing, they flew us out to L.A. Except for the comics that were already in L.A. They just drove over.
Yeah,
but
take a bus.
They took us out. We came out to L.A. And we were there. I was there like a couple days early so I could hang out. My girlfriend Esther, she's a comic as well. So we hung out there for like a week. And the Thursday, the recording all took place Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The Thursday was an interview with Kevin Hart, with me and Kevin Hart. Well, all of us. So Thursday, Kevin Hart went through all the interviews with everybody. And then Friday, 3 of us recorded. And then Saturday, 3 of us recorded. That way the show was still a normal length. That way the audience wasn't like, if you're going 6th, if everybody did a half hour, the audience would be like, I'm tired of this. I'm not going to sit here for 5 hours, you know? So
this marathon comedy festival.
Yeah. So it was still really good the way that they did it. They didn't overdo the audience or anything like that.
That's good. Yeah.
It was.
So when you saw Kevin Hart, how did you not just cry of joy?
Well, I'm not a big fan of. Well, to be honest,
well, I don't know. Every time I think of Kevin Hart, I think of when you and I first saw like one of his first specials.
Yeah,
you brought me over to your house. We were like still in high school, and you're just like, you got to listen to this guy. You got to watch him. He's great.
Kevin Hart, I believe it is.
Yeah, it was Kevin Hart. Wait, there's no E in the word Hart? I was like, what? And now it's just like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I also did a show called Heart of the City.
Yep.
And then so when I did that, he kind of just like rushed into being on set. We're on camera. So it was like there wasn't really a time to adjust of like, oh, there's a celebrity. Like there wasn't really time to do that. It was just we're just having a conversation right away because he's on such a tight schedule that he's not playing around, So that show was recorded all in one day, where the before the show earlier in the day was the round table interview with Kevin Hart and me and the other 3 comics that were on the show. Mm-hmm. And
is that with Mike Jeter?
Yeah, Mike Jeter. That's fine. Yeah. Jay Bell and Boogie. Yeah, Elton Williams, and all 4 of us did it. And ever so often we'd hear like a countdown where like somebody would be like on a walkie-talkie or something, or have their headphones and just be like, "All right, Kevin is 7 minutes away," and they looked like some top-notch security, like it'd be a big dude with it looked like he should be protecting the president, and he's just like he's just doing. We're like, oh, okay, all right, he'll be 7 minutes away, and we're sitting in the table. They're lining all the camera up, to wait for him. So as soon as he sat down, it was just, oh, we're going. So there wasn't really a time to let it hit you. To let it hit you. And I never have been too overly, obviously I've been impressed by celebrities' like accomplishments, but I was never somebody that ever had a picture of a person on my wall. Right. Like I never was.
It's like doing push-ups in front of a picture of
I never.
Chris D'Elia. You're like one day.
Yeah. Like when I was a kid, like I liked pro wrestling, but even then I was like, I'm not going to put a picture of Stone Cold on my wall. I mean, I like the guy.
Yeah.
I root for him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand that most people had that, but for me, I was always like, no, those are just other people that's their job, is being famous.
Right.
Like I don't know. That's their job, right? Like I don't know. Like why I'm not going to just put a picture of the mailman on the wall. Why? That's his job is to give me mail.
Helps me out every
I don't know. Like why? So
he doesn't mess around with that 2 to 3 business days.
No. Yeah. So I think I just never felt too weird in that regard.
Yeah.
Which did help for nerves, I'm sure, because otherwise I could have been all freaking out.
Do you think it comes to that? I always feel like I'm there's a few people I'm starstruck with, but there seems to be a lot of people who are starstruck by anyone regardless of
Yes.
if they've even heard of them. They're like, oh,
Yes.
could you believe that he spit in a McDonald's bag and threw it back at the employees? Like, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Sounds like something a human would do.
Yeah, some people really do overdo, or they look for somebody to be famous because they just want that feeling. Like so Esther opened up for Michael Shea recently at the and it was a cool weekend. I was headlining at Mark Ridley's. Right after the show, I got to walk down, and she was in Royal Oak.
That's so awesome.
At opening up for Michael Shea. So I got to walk, and it's heard that show started like a half an hour after my show ended. So I just walked over there, and it was a great setup.
Yeah,
and but it was funny because afterwards he does this cool thing where if you want to take a picture of everybody, he'll unlock. He was unlocking he gave like the thing to unlock the phone to different people in his team, and he gave like one to Esther and different people. So like after the show, after he's done performing, he was giving people a way to unlock their phone because they did
with the bag
with the bag thing.
Yeah,
and. There were people in the crowd that were just like, well, why am I here? You know what I mean? Like, why was I was on stage just because I was like, I don't know, the show's over. Esther's walking around on stage. I'm gonna walk around on stage. They know that they knew that I was allowed to be backstage. Like they told me I could be backstage, and they were pouring people shots and stuff like that, like from the stage. It was funny.
Awesome.
But the funniest thing was just a random girl who looked at Esther and was like, "Is he somebody?
No,
Is he?" She was like,
Should I care about him?
yeah. Is he like? Because she's like, I get that's Michael Shea. That's the DJ. That he's a DJ / comic. He opened up the show as well, and you were on the show. Like she was putting together all the people, and there's like, who the hell is that guy? Why?
What are you gonna murder me if I'm not famous? What's happening?
Yeah, but she said it in a positive way. Like she didn't say it like, is he? She said it like, is he somebody? Like she said it like she was hoping. Right. So that's why it's just funny to me is people that are just like they're looking for somebody to be a celebrity.
Right.
Like she could have easily have just been like, oh yeah, you didn't know that he was on Breaking Bad. Like she could have just said anything.
Were you Saul?
He played the turtle.
That's so funny to deal with. Like people are so easily influenced. This is only as far as just like if it's important. Just let me know if it's important, so I can know. If
let
it's
me know if I'm
important.
supposed to be impressed or not. Yeah,
this is kind of related. My mom just told me this. I was visiting her, and she's like, "Yeah, I go, how was shopping?" And she was great. She was me and my sisters went, and she goes, "We started playing this game where we pick something insignificant in like Sears." And me and my sisters, we crowded around it, and then we did like a garbage infomercial about it, just like in a store, and waited to see people like.
Your mom's the coolest.
Isn't that just like she's like
that's hilarious.
she just walks and she's like, I'm about to manipulate humans, and like they were just like,
is that how she said it?
Like no, but like
God.
I'm assuming her inner monologue is.
Oh man, that would have been even better.
Descendant of Satan, but
oh man,
she's like, what does it do? It spins salad. Get out of town for free.
They have people. I'm to this day, I refuse to believe that this wasn't a secret shopper moment for me. I was one time I was at IKEA, and a friend of my roommate in college, we were at IKEA. We were just trying to find like a shelf to put our TV on. Yeah. That's all we were doing. And all of the TV stands were way more expensive than like this bookshelf. And we were like, well, we can just turn the bookshelf sideways.
I've done that.
And put a TV on it. Yeah. And so we were looking at it and we were debating if that would work. And then there was these other two guys that were roughly around our age. It was almost like they were like sending the reinforcements. It was so weird. And they just stopped in and then they looked at the bookshelf right next to us and they were like, oh man, you know what? Yeah, we could turn it sideways. We could use it however we wanted. You know what? I'm going to get one of these. And then they walked away and we were like, what the fuck was that? That is insane.
They drink a Pepsi with the logo face and they're like, yeah.
Like, that's not a real person. Nobody really shops like that.
No one's that excited about anything. Unless he's somebody.
Exactly. Nobody's that excited about a bookshelf to where they just say it out loud and then just walk away. And he's like, I'm going to get one of those. And then just.
But before we do that, here's our sponsors, Squarespace. And you're like, who are you talking to?
Do you ever catch yourself being like impressed by something stupid like that? Like I just moved to Royal Oak a few months ago and I went to that Kroger Marketplace.
Okay.
Not Kroger.
Oh, it's
Kroger Marketplace.
It's like a super
yeah.
Kroger.
Walked in, saw the sushi, and I was like, this Kroger's dope. Out loud for humans to hear me. And I was like, I gotta prioritize.
Is that there was a Kroger that I was at? I forget locations. I forget geography. I don't know which one.
It's near you. Yeah.
There was one that I went to that they had like clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
That I was like, I'd actually wear this clothes though. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't
Oh.
just like normally, like, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't go out of my way to buy clothes like at Meijer or something.
No.
Like, I mean, like I might if I'm there and it happens to be it work out.
Right.
But this was nice enough that I was like, I want to come back and buy this shirt from Kroger. Like, and then I was just like, but that's weird.
Yeah, you
know
can't
what I mean?
like
I'm
put
like,
that
hey,
in your schedule.
Yeah,
Be like
yeah.
buy Kroger shirt.
buy Kroger shirt. Like that just doesn't. People are like, no, go to a real place. You buy groceries at Kroger.
No, go to
you
a
buy
real
clothes
store.
at clothes stores. You don't buy clothes at grocery stores.
Are you sure the shirt wasn't a polo that said Kroger manager?
I was just gonna say, you picture
No, they had like a whole exactly, but they had like a whole section of just like nice stuff.
like people made this.
like yeah.
They didn't like it's not a garage sale.
Yeah, it
that
wasn't a
found its
garage
way into
sale. I was
Kroger.
like, this is a cool Kroger.
this Kroger's dope.
This Kroger is dope. He said it like Aziz sorry.
Yeah, that's
He's
what
like,
it
this Kroger's dope.
What was the very
treat yourself to some Kroger.
No, it was Kanye West listening to it. Was just like, yo, these beats is dope. And it was,
yeah.
and it was Aziz listening to his own jokes.
Yeah.
Hannibal
Yo,
Buress
these
has
jokes are
that,
dope.
where he's like listening to his own bit, and then he chimes in at the sprinkles on his sandwiches for flavor with the pickle
It's
juice.
the best. It's the best. Oh man. So
I love stealing material.
what I like to do So what I like to do is I like to do as little research about the person as possible. So
Yeah, that's better.
I just went on your YouTube page and the first video that popped up was someone threw a dildo at you. And I was like, I'm not gonna watch that. That's like eye candy. I go, I'm gonna look for the most popular and find his best bit. And number one, dildo thrown.
Dildo thrown it.
And I was
Yeah.
thinking, oh, okay, I'm gonna click on it. Maybe it's a joke. No.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
a literal
A lady threw a dildo at me.
lady threw a dildo at you. So one of the questions is for your new special, how many dildos are gonna be thrown at you? Because you said you're bringing
Yeah.
your best material.
Yeah,
Just
that
saying.
is true. Unfortunately, it was recorded before the dildo incident. So, I didn't know that
No
that was
precedent was
yeah,
set.
no precedent was set, but that was insane. It was there was actually like 4 or 5 bridal parties that were at that show. At one show in one comedy club at the same time. That's not for the whole weekend. You know what I
Right.
mean? One show. And most of them were actually cool, but there was 2 of them particularly because I cut that video short. It actually, there was, it keeps going to where somebody else threw something at me on stage, but it wasn't as funny as a dildo. So I was like,
Yeah.
the joke died. So
Right.
for the sake for YouTube, I'm not going to continue to do
What's
this.
above a dildo as
What's
far
that?
as comedy? Like a rubber chicken? Or is
Yeah,
that
I don't
what
know. Yeah.
happens?
Rubber
So-
cock. There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Just some balls. Throw the rest of it.
marbles at me? What is
Here's
that?
the male reproductive system. All of it. Vast deference.
Just a
Going up
chart.
there.
So I was just making a joke that it was like a clear difference. There was with half of the audience being bridal parties or being a bridal shower. It was it was just interesting that like I could tell when I didn't do a dirty joke that it didn't get the response I wanted because I didn't talk about dicks.
Yep.
Like it's like as soon as I mentioned anything dirty, there was like an applause break just because you said the word dick. It didn't even matter what you were talking about. Like there were that level of drunk girls hanging out, girl power.
Yeah.
That were, you know what I mean? That was the mindset.
Do you ever
And-
feel like less of a human in that point of being like, just do the dick thing that we know?
Oh
you
yeah,
like,
yeah. So
don't
then,
put your heart into this.
So that's what happened. So then I was like, you guys aren't, I'm sorry that I didn't talk about dicks for the last like 30 seconds and you guys are losing your shit. And then a woman waved the dick and it was wiggling so weird. It was wiggle. It was a floppy dick. It was
Right,
a very
big
floppy
flopping.
one. And so then I joked about that, about like, I thought women wanted the hard ones. Why would you buy a dildo that's like soft? I don't even
Right.
get it. Why would you buy a limp dick?
the point of
That's, this is, I don't
is it
even
so-
understand. And so then she threw it at me, and
Long story short,
she threw it at me. I left it on stage. And then the headliner eventually she gave it back to her. But my goal was to be like, no, you don't get this back until you you act right. Okay, you're gonna get this back at the end of the show. This is like in class.
At the end of class.
Where like at the end of class, I'll give you back your phone, but not even at the end of class. Sometimes in schools, like no, you get it at the end of the day. At the end of the day, after school, you go to the principal, then you'll get it back. That was how I wanted to treat this lady.
I'll be here all weekend.
Yeah, but
It's just like, now listen, you can't be throwing these. Just flopping.
so then I go into another joke, and in the middle of the next joke, somebody threw some purple beads at me.
Hopefully they were the ones for your neck and not.
They were just regular beads.
Okay.
They were just regular. Children can wear these beads. They were just
Good. It's for the whole family.
Family beads. Okay. And I was like, all right, well, even and then I made another joke about that. But then I was like, all right, the dildo's clearly, I was like, nice try, lady. You trying to beat dildo right now? Like, the craziest thing is what happened afterwards. Afterwards, this lady comes up to me and she says, I'm sorry. In the moment, it just felt right.
No.
That's what she said. That was her defense. Was that
One of her friends is getting married.
Yes, and
Think about that for a second.
the friend that's getting married. So I was like, so where did you just buy that? Bring it from home? What's the where's this? Where did this come from? What's the origin story? She said, well, this is the origin story. The bride makes dildos for a living.
Knock it
That's
off.
her only job. She came up to me and she told me the same thing. She makes them in her basement. That's her only job. She makes enough money to where like she does well with this. This isn't like some side weird hobby. This isn't like a man is married
She's
to her that has
reporting
enough
this
money
on her
and this is her
taxes.
like crafts.
Yeah.
This isn't like some side hobby.
Right.
Like she contributes to the family off of this dildo income.
Her kids' school paid for by and from dildos.
Absolutely.
She's making them dildo dollars. That's
taking those dildo dollars.
She reports it on her taxes.
Boner bucks. How many can we do?
Yes! I like that one better. That reminds me of what.
But then I was like, so she gave her that one.
Yeah.
And then she said that she gave it to her because she didn't like the way that it turned out. So she gave it to her. And
Well, with the floppiness, it makes sense.
And the floppiness, it makes sense. But I'm like, but as a guy, I'm just like, wait, you gave your friend a sex toy and you gave her a shitty, like you like her enough that she's standing in your wedding. She's like, yeah, she's standing in your wedding, and you gave her you make these for a living. Give her a good one. You know what I mean? Like, why would you give her
No
I
discount.
didn't like the way this one turned out.
You gave her the one that was morphed with another one on accident.
Why would you do that? What an awful friend.
It went in the kiln and it just didn't come out right.
What a crappy friend.
Do you ever get worried that that's going to become your calling card? Like if that video gets too many views? Like
Yeah, that was funny. I didn't think about that. That it was like, what if this like catches on? You know what I mean? Or like
every show that goes well, it's just coming in the air.
You know what I mean? Like there's the heckler videos that comedians have where I'm sure the more that popular they get handling hecklers, the more that the audience looks to heckle them now.
Right.
And there's people that go there with the mind, oh, this is the guy that I can heckle.
Right.
He's cool with it. He records it.
Yeah.
It's like, if this did take off, because it did get way more views than I thought that it would.
Yeah.
Because I just put it up on YouTube just to mess around. I just thought it'd be funny to have on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine at Planet Ant for improv, he knows way more than I do in the Reddit world or just the computer business side of things in general. So he just put it on Reddit and was like, and then just tagged, and like he put it on Reddit on my behalf, essentially.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, look at this happened to my friend. And then the next day it got like 2,000 more views or something.
Oh, damn.
And then I was like, wow, that was just by putting it on
People
Reddit.
like this.
Just putting it on Reddit,
right.
And everybody made a whole bunch of dick puns on the jokes.
Just reading the whole thread.
Oh, all of it was
Now,
just
is that
people,
where Boner Bucks came from? You could be honest.
No, that was fresh off the dome right there.
I knew it.
I wanted to believe, but now I know
He
I
still got it. The Jeff I remember from an hour ago.
Oh man,
I like to make sure that the cup is facing the camera.
I know it's like
I like to make sure that people know that I got for those of you just listening, I have a penguin with a top hat.
Yes. As a cup.
On a cup. Yeah, I don't just own a penguin with a top hat. It's on this cup. And yeah, I'm happy about
This
it.
is
I'm
not
happy
something
about
I
this
do
decision.
normally.
Yeah, well, no, it is something I do normally. It sounds about right. I like penguins. They're cool. I get it.
Never done anything wrong to me.
Yeah, they've never done anything wrong to me. I don't hear anything of penguins ruining the environment or if only we didn't have so many damn penguins.
Well-
Nobody complains about penguins.
Well, there is
You're gonna
something
start
that
hunting
penguins do. There is something that penguins do though. What they'll do is if they want to check, like, let's say they're on an ice block or whatever, and they want to test the waters, they'll find the weakest penguin and just push them in the water and see what happens.
What?
Yeah.
Why are you ruining
Yeah,
this for me?
They test it for
you
sharks.
know what?
or seals or
Unicorns
whatever.
aren't real either.
What else isn't real?
What? So they throw the
Yeah, they take the weakest or the oldest one, they push them off, and then they just kind of see
weakest
what
or the
happens.
oldest. So they don't give a single fuck.
No, there's
so
no
they're
coffee
like
discount.
you could be a baby
Yeah.
or you could be my grandpa.
It doesn't matter.
I'm throwing you in that fucking
If I
water.
can, I will.
Benjamin Button is
Holy
screwed every
shit.
time.
You could tell the penguin on the cup is the one that would be doing the pushing. He'd
He's
be
the top
like-
1%
He's the
for
top.
sure.
Oh yeah,
you don't
he's-
get a top
He's got
hat.
a cane. Oh yeah, that's a pimp penguin.
Yeah, that's his pimp penguin.
There's like another penguin's beak and like the tip of the cane. I'd be like, you know how many penguins I've killed?
my fish? All these female penguins going around.
It's good to have ice.
It's a very well behaved dog that you guys
So-
have under your table. Sorry.
Thank you.
I'm very
Yeah,
ADD.
yeah. We have my dogs. He's just chilling. Usually we keep him out, but he always tries to get in because he just loves being attached
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
It's a dog. It's cool.
It's a dog.
It's fine. It's
does
fine there.
things.
Yeah.
It does things.
I hate it when people overly apologize for their dogs.
Isn't-
it makes me
that never
feel
gets
uncomfortable
yeah.
because it makes me feel like you thought that I was upset when no, I was.
I don't
fucking
like that.
cool.
Don't put that on me.
Don't put that on me.
Yeah.
'Cause now
Don't
I
act
feel like I am.
Don't act like I just yelled at your dog. No, you decided to yell at your dog. Your dog was barking. Your dog was talking.
Yeah.
First of all,
And you shut him up.
Communicating.
which is it's the only animal that it gets yelled at for just talking. Like
Right.
cats, when they meow, everyone thinks it's cute. A dog, its version of a meow is a woof.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, that's too loud. I don't like that shit.
No.
And everybody gets so upset when a dog talks. And it bothers me so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes my neighbors, so many people, as soon as I go outside, a dog will talk to me and it'll start barking as dogs do. That's
Right.
how dogs act.
Hey,
and then they'll be like,
what's up?
oh, quiet. Shut up and shut up.
Who told
Stop
you to
doing that.
speak?
Who told I'm just like,
Top
why
hat.
are you yelling at your dog?
As a cat person, people get this thing from me that they start to notice, like the people around me, then they know I'm like more of a cat person. I mean, I like dogs, but the fact that they just heard that once,
Yeah.
they'll like talk to the dog as if I'm not in the room. Be like, no, you've got to leave. Richie hates you. Be like, I didn't say anything. I just said, oh, a dog, and they're like, okay, you want me to kill him? For
Oh,
you?
yeah.
You want me to end him?
You're not allowed to have a favorite animal.
No.
Then you hate all the other animals.
That's what I mean.
true.
That's what.
Cat person feels derogatory. I just don't like immediately like every dog. I mean, like I want to get to know them. I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
me and you.
It's usually weird when a dog doesn't like me. It
Yeah.
usually I'm usually in the person where somebody will say, "Oh wow, usually this dogs don't like men or whatever," and
Yeah.
it's licking my hand. It's fine. Usually that's my relationship with dogs. But when I was me and Esther, we were in Chicago this last weekend, and I just turned around and saw a dog, and I was like, "Oh, can I pet your dog?" And she was like, "Sure." And then he just started like barking at me like crazy, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then I felt all embarrassed, and then she
Wait, you apologized?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought that the most of them liked me. I'm sorry. And then,
You're, like, blaming-
Then Esther was all like, "Yeah, that's weird. Normally he's good with it." And that was like a big deal. Then the next person walked by and pet the dog fine. And then she looked at me like, "I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. She just doesn't like you." And I'm like, "Oh man," it felt so.
the only dog
defeated.
this-
It felt like I was turned down. You know what I mean? I felt
record.
like I was turned down. It was like if you were at a club and you wanted to try to talk to a hot chick,
I
and
like
then you
your
sat.
shirt.
She said no, and then you sat next to her for an hour.
You guys have to pretend like she just didn't
Yeah,
tell
it was
you.
like,
do you
man.
want to dance?
Yeah.
I love this song. And she's like, no.
She's like, no, and I'm like, I'm still sitting next to you. So
It's still happening.
I went to the Ann Arbor.
I can't dance to White Snake. It's going on.
I went to like this Ann Arbor like art festival, and I was with some people with dogs. We were walking their dogs, and then it just like I didn't even think people were there for the art. Like we were just sitting, drink coffee.
oh, people are there for the dogs.
dogs,
Yeah.
and it was just like I swear.
Fairs
at one
are all
point,
about dogs.
There was a line for the dog.
For a one dog.
For one
There's
dog, just like for the dog I was holding the leash, and like, and they were just petting. Can I pet him? Be like, I was like, I didn't know you were supposed to ask. Like one person, can I pet? And I go, of course. And like 4 more people asked if they could pet. It'd be like, I haven't been asking anyone for approval to pet their dogs. I've just been doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
know there
yeah.
was politeness for
You
it.
have to provide consent.
Yeah. So sometimes you can just make eye contact with the owner for a second, and then that's like it's like okay. You know, and then sometimes I'll just pet the dog.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that's the biggest. Yeah, I think that's the biggest. Like, the stranger doesn't look like a person I'd be friends with, but your dog looks cool. I think those are the moments where I'm just like, oh, the sleeveless biker vest or something guy. If he had a cute dog, I'd be like, I don't know if we'd be friends, but your dog's cute, so I'm not even gonna ask. I'm not even gonna ask you. Just start petting your dog.
Serious, real story. I was taking my dog Benson on a walk, and this woman was leaving this house and she was heading to her car, and she looks at me and she goes, "Is it all right if I give your dog a treat? It's in my car." And I was like, "Wait a minute."
Nope. This
is like kid
yeah, that is
with the candy in the van. So I just went like a no thanks and just kind of awkwardly kept walking. But we kept walking in the same direction because our car was that way. So I was just silent. I'm just trying to look up.
Can I give him a treat?
I like how you said no thanks, as if like if no one knows your inner monologue that just happened, they're like, that guy hates his dog. He's like, no treats. He's bad.
He's on a diet.
Yeah.
He's on a diet. He can't handle the gluten. It's very hard for him to process.
Well, like that day at the festival, the art festival, I started to get annoyed after like the 100th person, and like the nicest lady comes up and she's like, "What kind of dog is it?" And I go, "Ask him." and she
That's
goes,
what you said. Oh, jeez.
And she goes, "I don't speak dog." And walked away.
So you were kind of asshole-ish.
Oh, I 100%.
And then she was kind of dumb, right?
Yeah.
So
She was a bad response.
that whole situation, she was like, "I don't speak dog," not like as a joke, unless
was
you're
just like,
I don't speak. Like, she felt bad that she didn't speak dog.
Yeah. I know how I sounded. I'm not defending it. It's just it was a bad day.
But
for me.
Oh yeah, no. But everybody has those days where it's just like, I just can't talk to any more people.
She's like on Google Translate, just like, how do I can't
Look it
find
up on Duolingo.
We were in. Me and Esther. We'll go to like dog parades all the time.
Yeah.
There's so many of them. When you know that one of them exists, then you're like, oh yeah, you don't even have to have a dog. Yeah, I'll be the weirdo. I don't care.
You don't even have to have a
I don't
dog.
even care. I'll just go there and watch your dogs. I don't care. There was a dog Halloween party one time. Or a dog Halloween costume contest that was happening in I forget the name of the park, but in downtown Detroit.
Yeah.
And we just went there, made a day of it. We Ubered there, you know, and it was amazing, and it was so funny. It was just the funniest thing, and then you definitely don't have to ask, because people's dogs are just
That's why they're here.
That's why they're here.
It's
you know what I mean?
It's the Woodward Dream Cruise of dogs.
Yeah. It's like being on the Dream Cruise. Oh, don't take a picture of my car.
Right.
It's like, why are you here, sir?
Come on.
Okay, this is what you came for.
It's you and three of your friends standing next to the same Mustang but different colors in like a folding chair.
Yeah.
And it's funny when there's
See with your eyes. Don't touch.
It's funny when there's a group of strangers cheering for animals. Like, there's just been so many of those weird moments in my life where there was one time we went to the state fair, and they were having the dogs jumping over. There was dogs jumping as high as they could over hurdles.
Yeah,
then they would add another stick and another stick, and then it went up as high as it could. And then we're in like bleachers, like at the state fair, watching this whole entire thing. And there's literally like 100 people that all at the same time, when the dog went over the last thing, it was like a touchdown, like at Ford Field. It was just everybody.
You did it, Sparky.
Yeah! Everybody went insane, and I was just like, "Oh, that was beautiful."
I love it. I admire the amount of love, like unconditional love, dog people have for dogs. Like I said, I love dogs, but like it's not unconditional.
Yeah.
Like
there's conditions.
There's conditions. I watched a movie. It was like this really sad indie film with my girlfriend, and a dog came on the scene. Like onto the scene. It was a really depressing scene. Didn't matter. Like a dad was leaving his daughter forever. Dog just showed up on the scene. They applauded as if like John Stamos made a cameo on like some random sitcom. They're like, yes, more of this and less of not this. This is great.
They applauded. That's
like,
hilarious.
This is like the climax. This is where we're supposed to be like, no, well.
But it's a dog.
It's a dog, man.
A dog, it changes what you thought that was the climax. That was not the climax.
Climax was like right before the dad left.
The dog changes the whole storyline.
Airbud does a slam dunk.
And they're like, oh, cool. The movie gets worse from here after the slam dunk.
Are they still making Airbuds?
They have to, but they're
I think it's their like puppies or something. The Air Buddies.
Air Buddies?
Yeah.
Air Buddies.
Oh man, and they're just still like just Googling things dogs haven't done yet. Just like, have they gone to space yet? And they're like, no, we got to save that for last.
Put him
Like,
to space.
Put him to
Elon
space.
Musk is make a cameo.
I just love that logic of just like nothing in the rule book says that you can't have a dog. That's the basis of everything.
Yeah.
So like they're like nothing in the rule book says a dog can't be president.
And then
nothing says like
that's
they
literally
do
the plot.
It's usually the
He was
the
born
whole-
in America.
One guy with a goatee disagrees in the movie, and they're like, "You're
It's
the
just like-
antagonist."
Yeah, it's a German Shepherd. Like they're all weird about it. Like, I don't trust it.
I don't trust as far as I can throw. Why are you throwing dogs? I love that. I love to think of the board meeting for like the 13th Air Buddies movie. They're like, all right,
We got to vote on whether or not this dog.
I just need one of you to disagree for me to have the motivation to make this goddamn movie.
And what I always just found so interesting of that many, because like exactly like you said, like the 13th one, is this a world where each Air Bud doing a new thing is like reset? This is the first time a dog is doing, or is this a world where dogs have been doing shit for years, man? Have you checked out all these other Air Buds, man? They're playing basketball, they're playing football, they're playing baseball. Why are you? Yeah, your dog can be a construction worker or whatever. What are you talking about? You live in the same world?
Right.
Like, is this like a DC Marvel universe type of thing where
Right.
like they're not crossing paths?
They don't know until they make the Avengers movie. They're like, oh, I didn't know Spider-Man knew Iron Man.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
You
is it
wait
what-
to the end of the credits of each Air Bud. They clearly show Samuel Jackson coming in. Hey, I'm starting a pup force.
Pup force. I would just like to think of it as like a very political, like the political crisis and climate of the Air Bud universe, of where it is
the
like
Air
that.
Bud universe.
And be like,
I just love that sentence. The Air Bud universe.
be like, we've got dogs that want to get married. Be like, what's next? Dogs are marrying humans, and it's just like we're passing this proposal whether you want it or not.
Dogs are marrying cats. This dog identifies as a cat.
It just goes that total around. Just be like,
This gets worse.
it's rated R. You're not going to believe it. I know all of the other Air Buddies movie went straight to VHS.
Yeah.
But this one is going to theaters. It's going to captivate.
It's like a
audience.
horror movie, an Air Bud horror movie. Like everybody goes there with their kids, and it's just like Saw. And it's just dogs killing
It's The
people.
Purge, but
it's
with
just dogs fighting back.
But Air Bud's Revenge.
Who's walking who now?
Who's
then
walking?
they're just-
That's the name of the sequel. Who's walking who? Starring Christopher Walking.
The Purge. For 24 hours, dogs go to the bathroom inside the house. They can chew the nice furniture.
just who just doesn't know? Why are you still questioning things?
Right.
Why in the football one where they like dogs can't play football, and you're like, well, dogs play basketball.
Right.
That was the opening movie, was dogs playing basketball. So I think I've seen a dog catch a ball way more than dribble and shoot.
Right.
So we're actually that should have been the first one. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
of
You gotta
course,
work your way up.
that makes even more sense that he
Hindsight's
play
20/20
football
with Air Bud.
You know, like, why are you questioning things?
That would make sense though with their logic and plot holes for overanalyzing Air Bud. You would have to assume
Somebody's got to write them. I don't
Right.
think anybody's let them know.
No.
Does anybody let them know how unrealistic these movies are?
To whom it may concern, I was bothered and disturbed by the inadequacies between the movies.
P.S. Is Air Buddies part of the Air Bud canon? Or is that a fan fiction?
They'd have to be independent and like not overlapping, or else they'd be like every movie would be like, hey, they also played basketball. Be like, well, small steps.
Can you imagine? Like, I just feel bad for the kids that like didn't get the sports scholarship because they lost to a dog.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's only a certain amount of slots on that team, and one roster slot went to a dog.
I like to.
There's some parent out
didn't
there
make it.
who is just like, you're letting a goddamn dog on this team? My son can't.
I'd like to think if it was like a tie, like Billy the human and Air Bud were like equally as good, but the coach was like had to make a tough decision. He's like, well, Air Bud only needs the top of the jersey, and I got to buy shorts as well for this kid, so I'm gonna save the $15.
And for the sake of being progressive, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I don't want
whether
a
it's
letter.
affirmative action or whatever.
If I pet this dog, I'm not gonna get in trouble. If I pet the kid,
I tell you what, I want to
that's-
pet my team.
yeah, I want to. I'll give my team back rubs. Sue me, okay?
I like to think of like the pep talk in the locker room before the game. he's just like, the coach is just like, who's a good boy? And they like bark. He's like, who's a good boy? And they bark louder, and then they're out in the court.
Not all the dogs. You mean the people next to the dog too? Like not just Airbud.
follow suit.
Airbud doesn't get his own speech from the way that I just read that. You're saying that that's the way the coach talks to the whole team of humans and dog, and then they all
Quack. Quack. It's just bark. So we're writing this.
yeah.
Starting a plot.
Let's do it.
Airbud breaks the fourth wall. Cool.
I could totally do the whole episode of just Airbud, just by
The Airbud episode with Jeff Horst.
So what else is going on? Is that an animal on your shirt?
Well, I
I got an animal on my shirt. You got an animal on your shirt?
nope.
Lame.
We got animals on our mugs because we think.
Oh yeah, you were saying Dream Cruise.
I don't know.
I'm gonna cut you. Yeah, I hate Dream Cruise.
That would just be me.
Nobody likes Dream Cruise.
No, it's not.
I don't understand how people like cars.
I don't.
Cars are a necessity of life. Cars aren't. I don't understand idolizing things that you can't. Like I understand people that collect stamps more than I understand people that like cars. Because I'm like, you know how rich you have to be to collect cars. First of all, like that's not a normal. I just have always been somebody like with some touch base in reality where I'm like, but the average person can't do that.
Can't have one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like most people don't have an abundance of cars throughout their whole lifetime. You know what I mean? Like they might just have several for their whole lifetime.
Yeah.
So like as a kid, I remember in school and people reading car magazines and I'm like, first of all, we're kids. We all know we're kids, right? Like we can't even legally drive these things. Why are you even interested?
I don't understand
in
what
how
you're
a thing
looking at.
works that you're not. Yeah.
I still don't know what a Hemi is.
That I seriously don't. What is it? It's a thing that makes cars go faster for trucks or something?
That you
I know
ask.
it's related for trucks.
It's something that you ask somebody. That's all I know. Does it have a Hemi?
Does it have a Hemi? And
Yes
if they
or no?
say no, then you stab them. Then they're less of a person.
No. Got it.
This is America.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like you look at it and be like, wow, that's a nice car. Be like,
what it
no, I
looks
don't.
like.
I don't drive it. No, I don't drive this one. This is what.
What do you do? You just bring people over to your house and let them look at it?
I don't understand. Probably not
What is
even that.
I don't get it.
Under a sheet.
If I had a nice car like that I spent all this time on, I wouldn't take it out anywhere. I'd be so terrified of scratches stuff. And my thing with cars is, unless it can fly, swim, or has machine guns attached to it, I'm not impressed.
what is it doing for me?
And those are exclusive. That's the list.
That's just three.
Fly,
No more, no less.
machine guns. That's it. Those are the three things.
If you're not using it to fight crime, then what
What's
are
the
you
purpose?
doing?
What's
That's a
number 4.
1966 Corvette. Okay, but you're taking it to Kroger. Like I don't.
yeah, it's
I
still-
can take my car to Kroger.
It's both of our cars are doing the same task.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unless we're racing, that's another thing when people are like, "Look how fast my car can go," and I'm like, "Well,
But
do
the
you
speed limit.
But we're only allowed to go so fast,
I've
though.
never understood that 0 to 60 and also all of the speed and.
Look how quick I can get a speeding
Are you
ticket.
ever not gonna go 55? Okay, like I'll give you 55, and then nothing more. Like
I don't understand when people brag
If I
about how
needed
fast
to.
their car is.
if I needed to.
Are you planning
if
on
no one's
outrunning the
around-
cops someday? Are you planning on a speed chase?
Right, like-
what is your goal?
what are you like escaping from? What heist did you just do?
Yeah, I guess I've never understood anything that you want to collect that you can't use. Where like shoes,
I was just gonna say.
or like, but you see, but like I get figurines for some reason because
look
you
at them.
because
The nice
you can
pops.
they can add to the to what something looks like in a room.
Yeah.
but like a car is just in your garage.
The garage
so
is
the
still
whole is
an
a
awful
separate. It's a
theme.
separate place that we're not going to be a part of as a family. It's just the separate.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like collecting that. I'm like, the household doesn't get to just go in your garage. We're just going to go in the garage, drink coffee, and stare at your car. Like it doesn't add to the ambiance in any way. It's like collecting shoes. When people collect shoes, and I'm like, wait, I can't wear these shoes, and they're just under your bed. And
Yeah.
then, and
I had a
then-
guy
and then
I
what?
used to
What-
work with.
I don't. What do we do with this?
$200. No, I put it back in the shoebox and it's in my closet. It's not even on display. Like
Yeah.
in Space Jam when Michael Jordan had his
Yeah.
college shoe. It's just in the closet.
The Looney Tunes characters are not going into his closet.
No, and stealing his shoes,
stealing them.
I just never understood. I understand if you want to collect it for the sake of reselling.
Right.
Like I know somebody that collects Jordans,
Yeah.
but he makes money selling rare Jordans and
small
selling,
business.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a bit, so he's into the collecting.
Yeah.
Of course, he also just likes the collecting aspect of it, but at least he's profiting off of it. So I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Where like some people, they just collect it and they just have it. And then I'm just like, I'm a hoarder as it is a little bit for junk. You know what I mean?
for things that
For
I don't
stuff
want.
I want to get rid of these things. Like that's a part of my personality that I'm like, I need to work on this. I have too much trash. Meanwhile, you're just collecting trash and you're proud of it and you're putting it on display.
You just think this trash looks nicer.
Yeah.
You just think because this trash can get you somewhere else.
Yeah.
There's one car guy me like, my car's not trash.
My car is not trash.
When people say how much something is worth, and I try to explain to them, they're like, "Oh, this car is worth $20,000." I'm like, "Are you ever going to sell it?" They're like, "No," and I'm like,
Never.
"Oh, so it's worth nothing."
You just made up a
You know
number.
that, right?
Yeah.
it's worth. That's
zero.
not how worth.
It's only worth it to you.
That's not how it
It's-
works.
Yeah, it's worth a bit. Yeah, exactly. It's if you're never going to sell any item,
Yeah.
then it's worth nothing.
Yeah.
It's worth. It's
It's like
not.
Gary Goldman had a bit about where he was like $15. What are you doing? His brother's like, what are you doing wasting $15 on that purchase, whatever it was. He goes, it adds up. You can't be doing that. And he's like, it only adds up if you add it up. He goes, I'm never going to be $15 away from like my dream house.
Yeah,
He goes,
exactly.
you just added it up. I'm not.
Yeah. That's how I feel of people use the wrong logic for like honestly for like homeless people.
Yeah.
When it's like I understand nobody gives money to 100. Nobody has an 100% batting average with homeless people. Nobody's
Yeah.
1,000. Like I've given money to every homeless person I've ever seen. Nobody's that generous. I get that. But some people that just flat out live their lives like nope, I'm never going to give money to homeless people. And
There's
I'm just
one
like,
policy.
and I'm just like, but why are you worried that you're going to die 72 cents short
Right.
of something? Like,
Is that what was preventing you from making it?
exactly. Like at some point, your goal should be able to do so well in life that you can just lose $1, and you know what? It doesn't ruin your day. Like it's like I've bought energy. I'm addicted to energy drinks.
Yeah.
I've been good lately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coffee and tea substitutes and stuff.
Yeah.
But there was a time that I was like, I would justify a purchase of an energy drink by just being like, I've never had this one before, so it's a good quality to try new things.
There you go.
So that's good to try
Yes.
new things.
It is.
So I'll buy, even though it's killing me. I'm still, it's a good quality to buy. So
I think that's what
But I'm
heroin addicts
wasting money.
say.
I'm still just wasting $3 or $4. You know what I mean? It's still
Right.
wasting money. Meanwhile, afterwards, there's other people that are just like that.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna see a homeless person and be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna waste money giving it to him." Well, you waste money all day.
Yeah.
You buy things in fast food that you're like, "Wow, that's fucking."
I'm not even
weird.
hungry.
I'm not even hungry. Yeah, let's just see.
wasted
I'm
that.
just curious. Oh, they're making a sandwich out of chicken with the buns. Like whatever. They're just, I might not even like it, but I'll try it. And then you're gonna not fucking give money to the homeless guy.
You should tell
Right.
them that the second they like buy a beer at the bar, because
Yeah.
you'd be like, why don't you give money to the homeless people? And they'll be like, well, what if they buy it on booze?
You're like, oh no. Just immediately has an existential crisis.
Yeah, he just becomes like a
I have a house, so
he's
I can
just
be
the
an
cleanest
alcoholic.
man for the rest of his life. He understands himself and his contradiction that he's.
He's like, I'm going back to art school. I don't care.
It's like, yeah, I've been a hypocrite. I've been living a lie.
Yeah. I'd like to
giving my
see-
life to Jesus.
I'd like to see that
It just
guy.
changes his whole.
Like the first time he like takes this advice and he's like, you know what? All right, gives 4 quarters to the next homeless guy he sees, and then he has to park at a place and realizes he doesn't have enough
Doesn't have
change
any
to park.
change.
He's like, I knew it. I was right.
Comes back to the homeless guy. He's look, all right, I just need 2 of the quarters.
I just need 2. Can I
need 2 of the.
any spare change?
Just 2 of the quarters.
And then slowly he becomes homeless because that was to get his next job. Doesn't get the job. He's homeless now. He's asking for change.
That would be a
Boom.
good movie. The
be a good movie.
one guy. It's obviously exaggerating the point of the one guy that
Yeah.
went homeless, giving change to a homeless person.
It's a PSA to not be generous. What was the lesson in that movie? I think
Not every
it's
movie has a
obvious.
lesson.
It's obvious.
Sometimes it's nice to be mean.
Yeah, that's it's like the lesson, like those like when I heard there was books of part of my childhood that I liked, and then somebody afterwards was like, that was just like Republicans telling you to not give money to poor people, right, or not to help out. And I was like, what? And they're like, if you give a mouse a cookie, Or if you like, or if you give a moose a muffin. I think they did this book with different food items to different animals.
Give a moose a muffin.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was one too. But I remember the mouse a cookie one. I think that was the more famous one.
Yeah,
Not the knockoff other one. But and then I was like, they'll just keep coming back for more. They'll just keep coming back for more. That was the theme of it. And as a kid, I was like, oh, that was just a book that represented my childhood. And then as an adult, then I'm like, oh, wow. As a kid, they were trying to teach me to hate poor people.
It's
holy
the upper
shit. Yeah, they're like,
us.
you can't have any government assistance. They're just they're just mooching off of the top. And I'm like,
no handouts.
Oh my God, I didn't know that they were, that's what that was about.
Was that line after the credits of the book? I missed that
like,
part.
that's the whole book. It's just like telling the mouse, you just like, I can't give this to you because you're going to keep wanting more stuff. It's the whole point of the book.
If you give the mouse some milk, then he'll want Obamacare. And we can repeal and replace Obamacare. They were a little more subtle. If you give a sheep communism.
You never hear stories like that about like how they just put hidden lessons into,
mainly with like Disney movies and like dirty things. That's the only hidden message I know.
Yeah, or like the first cover of Little Mermaid, there was just like a big dick on the cover.
So it was just like, you try drawing the Little Mermaid all day.
And that's what's funny to me is when people like don't believe in anything that's labeled a conspiracy theory. Right. I think if you believe in no conspiracy theories, you are way more weird than somebody that believes in all of them.
Right.
Because at least the person that believes in all of them, they're at least like, I understand your paranoia. There's a lot of crazy stuff out there. But the person that believes in none of them, I'm just like, come on, man.
That's like the
you just believe everything an adult has ever told you since you were a kid. You just like, tell me what to do, adult authority figure.
Right.
Like, because like the dicks in Disney has been proven.
Right.
Some people think like, oh, they're making that up. And I'm like, what are the odds that like you can pause the screen watching The Lion King and the sand just spells the word sex?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just like,
those are real.
How many coincidences? There's 100 of those now. You know what I mean? Like how many? One of them could be like, I get it, but there's 100.
All these Disney allegations are coming out of like more and more.
You know how much work goes into? They didn't just scribble something and put it on a cover. They didn't accidentally draw a giant dick on the cover. They didn't do that.
It's like the equivalent of just walking around with like your hands over your head. Nothing.
Disney would do no wrong, and I'm like, they stole half of their ideas that they ever made. And
all
they're like,
of them.
No, I don't want to believe that.
They got a singing crab. That's like, it's not even like a defense. It's just like, this makes more sense.
I don't know. I think at the same time, though, I think people in a way like the mouse thing. Oh, the mouse thing. Let's say they say it's Republican. It's just a way to just get you just not like. I just want to enjoy the thing. If you get the mouse a cookie, it's supposed to be like, oh, what wacky things would happen with this mouse. I don't think it's supposed to be like, listen, he's going to promote socialism, and we can't do that.
Stop ruining things for me.
Yeah, stop ruining it for me.
Disney mouse.
Yeah, that mouse voted for Bernie before.
Oh, yeah.
99% of songs I like, I don't look at the lyrics. I don't know the lyrics. I just, then I go, I like the music, the beat. Then you look at the lyrics, and you're like, oh, this is about every evil sin that's against the Bible. Oh, great. Now it's ruined for me.
I'm the one that ruins it, too. I'm the overthinker. I definitely am. I'm the person because my girlfriend's really big into music, and there's a lot of songs that she just grew up. She knows way more about music than I do, but the only thing that I do more than her is that I'll like listen to the words, and I'm like, what the fuck did he just say?
Are you listening?
Did you what? That's weird. You know what I mean? And then she's like, oh, I don't know. Like they just said, and I overanalyze the lyrics sometimes, and I'm like, that's insane.
That's
and they're like, it's catchy. They're like, it's catchy, and I'm like, but they didn't even. Catchy is just an accident. You know what I mean? Like we should stop rewarding catchy this much. Like I get it. It's the system. It's catchy. Good job. But it's like I feel bad for the people that are like poets that are brilliant that just can't write anything that's catchy.
They're not good at making beats.
They're not good at making beats.
Genius,
but they're a genius. They're like way smarter than somebody else is just like, I don't know, this is catchy or it's stuck in my head. Stop being so smart and maybe you'll progress in life.
Listen, there are two colors, black and yellow, and we're just gonna keep it on repetition.
What about the color blue? Shut up.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Bring me a coffee.
Is it weird knowing that like there will be senior citizens at one point that will know the song Lemonade by Gucci Mane.
And they're like snap to it.
They like snap to it,
Yeah.
or they'll know Smack That, or they'll know Lil Pump. Like that's gonna happen one day.
Do you think that
Especially with science now, it'll definitely happen. There'll be old people that will know these things.
it will happen? And then it's also interesting because it's like the world is getting more progressive of like these are things that you can't say, but at the same time people still like the music that they grew up listening to. So I think that it's going to be like a weird curve where we're going more progressive. You can't say these things. But then when we're senior citizens, we're still going to like Eminem songs that were disrespectful and said the word bitch a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to not like those songs.
That's such an
so
interesting
it's very,
point
yeah, it's
of,
like it's going to go back up again and be like, I wonder if that's going to affect society in a new way.
Well, it's kind of a weird thing because like it's like I just think of like when my grandparents are growing up, it was like, oh man, Elvis Presley shook his hips and everyone just was like, you can't do that. So to me, I find that as like regressive of like things you can't do. Whereas I thought like our generation, we would just get worse and worse. Like how much deeper can we get into?
Yeah.
And just kind of be as decentered as possible. Whereas I feel like at the same time, right upon where it's like, no, you can't say this, you can't say that. And it's like, wait a minute, but we were talking about smacking that and whatever other things. I don't know. So I think it's going to be, it's a weird time. It's a weird time.
Yeah, it is a weird time because sometimes I think that people understand it in music more than in comedy, where the idea of saying something that you don't believe in just to make for the sake of making a point. Like in music, you can there's more freedom. It seems for some reason in comedy, somebody can say something just for the sake of making a point, but it's like, no, this is like satire.
Yeah.
You know, like satire is just lost on people, it seems. Where they're like,
ridiculous.
you said awful things. And you're like, yes, I said awful things. I'm making fun of the type of person that believes that those things are like true.
Right.
Yeah. And but that's like it is like there are people that are dumb enough that are just like, oh well no, but you said those.
They have no,
but you still said it. And I'm like, but context matters,
You don't
doesn't it?
think
They're
that-
like,
yeah.
no,
No, context is no.
Like, yeah, some people don't care about context.
you
at
don't
all.
know that I mean the exact opposite on purpose.
Yeah.
Like I don't like
Yeah,
I'm
like
on your side.
yeah.
We don't know.
Like,
All right.
I have jokes that make fun of somebody who is homophobic.
Yeah.
But you have to hear the whole joke.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like there's a twist at the end. It's just literally like if you just hear the words in the beginning of the joke, if I just mention that gay people exist, you should not feel uncomfortable because they do, right? Like
They're
that's not
totally here.
I'm not there. They do exist.
The fact
guys.
that you're offended that I said that they're here sounds like you're offended
Yeah.
and you don't like them.
Yeah. It's so sometimes there's people that are on my same side. Like I would believe that we would vote in the similar way.
Right.
But they're more upset at my jokes because they're just like
Words.
They're just like words. And I went to college. I learned what being a good person is, and that's it. Black people are nice. Gay people are good.
People of color.
And I'm just
And
like,
exist.
and I'm like, yeah, but, and I can mention that other people exist and it not be offensive, right?
Right.
Like there's other characters that exist other than straight white man,
Right.
And that we can tell stories with those characters in them.
Please can they be
Please
in my
wait
joke?
please wait for the end of the joke. I promise I'm not making fun of anybody for the race or religion. Just relax.
You're gonna like the end.
maybe, just maybe, this is me doing a leap here. Maybe we're at a point now where people are trying to censor stuff so much and get offended by so many things that it's gonna make it makes those words funny again because you're not allowed to say it. Before everything was censored, so then if someone said the F word, it was like, oh my gosh, said the F word, it's great.
That's the punchline.
Then everyone said the F word, right? And then it got boring. So now, like whatever word you could think of that you can't say anymore. I think eventually it makes it funnier because now you can't say it, and then it's gonna go back, and it's a cycle.
I think it's going to be a cycle. It's going to be every 200 years. Where
It goes in a
Every
cycle.
200
I
years,
feel like that
AIDS
cycle
is funny again.
could only work if it's like because it's been so far and we're so progressive now. Everyone knows
obviously that
Right.
you don't mean that.
Yeah,
Where
everyone
now
would
there's
know
like
you're ironic.
and now like especially after this election, there's a part of everyone that's like, I don't know, anybody could merely mean what you said.
Right.
That's why they're on edge of
I
not
think that's
knowing
what
what
it
satire
being
is
like,
it?
I'm on high alert. And I'm going to solve this mystery.
I've been fooled before by thinking somebody was a good person, and then they told me who they voted for, and all right.
I had to lose a bunch of friends.
So I want to believe that you're joking, but I just can't take any chances.
Even though the place said comedy out front, you said here's jokes, and the person before you said this is about to be jokes.
But I don't really know.
What do you mean by jokes? What kind of jokes are we talking?
You mean jokes like you mean it and it's true, and this is your opinion, and this is a TED Talk? Is that what you mean?
And I agree with it. You're just going to say things that I agree with, right? We're just going to say things I agree all day.
This is the
I said a joke about why fishing is stupid, and a lady literally stood up and said, "You can't say that because my brother died recently and he liked fishing."
No, that can't be a real story.
That's a real story.
That's a stretch.
And then I was just like, man, I know so many people that died that like Doritos, but what if I don't like Doritos? Like, you know what I mean? Like, at what point is that just an insane thing? Like, I'm sorry that your brother died.
Yeah.
And and I wish you and your family the best. But that doesn't mean I gotta like fishing. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just make people like things
stupid.
because somebody else died. Like, there's no logic there.
No.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, you
stretch.
could have, if you would have responded and said and had like a valid point of why you like fishing,
right?
Then that it would have been okay with. I mean, it wouldn't have been okay with you standing up and interrupting the show. But I would have at least understood where your logic's coming from.
Right.
But this is just like, some people are just like, grief, I'm upset.
Right, here we go. Anything that's a noun.
Yeah,
that's
and
similar.
everybody was like, the family was looking around, just like, sit down, you're being weird.
Deborah, please, not again.
Everybody was like, yeah, and then she like left the show, and that's what it was. I remember it now more. I was opening up. I was featuring, and so by the lady came back when like towards the end of my set. And then she left the room again, like, oh, he's still on stage.
More fishing material? What are you going to talk about, my brother by name?
And then she went back in when the headliner was on stage.
I had someone not laugh at, like protest and groan and say something because I had a bit about Olympic curling because Olympics. And only thing of just like, well, there's nothing funny about sports that are stupid. No, these sports are stupid.
Yeah.
Olympic curling is
She's
so
just
easy.
really big into the Olympics.
It's just a guy. He's just like, not funny. Olympics. They're just like, I really think it's funny.
Yeah.
I think this is good.
This is a ridiculous.
Like it was people were laughing, and then because I recorded myself. It didn't happen during. I recorded myself, and I heard it.
Yeah.
And I was like, do I stop doing? I didn't, but like,
yeah.
Is this gonna offend a bigger audience?
Yeah. I can't. If I used to have a joke where it was a Scooby-Doo joke where at the end of it I'm pretending that the Scooby-Doo characters died. Long story short.
Yeah.
And then so I'm listing them off, and then they groaned because one of the characters is a dog. So
animated.
Animated. Yeah. So somebody literally said, "Aw," and I was like, "Aw." You just awed an imaginary dog dying?
He was never real.
You didn't even awe. There's kids that died too. You know what I mean? Like you didn't
awe at that.
You didn't awe at that at all. Like you didn't even care.
Could you imagine her watching like the news, just like always in tears, and be like, another murder.
How do you live life?
You're not going to make it far.
Oh, man. You can't watch TV or watch a movie or go outside. It's a really sad life for you if that's your barometer of what to cry about.
Right up until animated dog dying. That's where I start.
that's where it starts.
Don't talk to anyone ever. Jeez. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like we care more about that people are offended now than we ever did. Now it's just like, well, she was offended because his butler's cousin's sister's mother likes potatoes. And I said that potatoes are good, but I didn't say that they were really good.
What?
Yeah.
They just are really good.
Or you're getting people that, so now you have people that don't agree with each other that are saying the same thing.
Yep.
So they're saying it for different reasons. You have some people that are like, the world is too PC because I can't say that I don't like fishing. And then you have like other people that are like, the world's too PC. I can't even say racial slurs anymore. And it's like, that's not what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying that the world's too PC.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah. Like I'm saying the world's too PC for like normal reasons.
Right.
And you're saying it because you're not allowed to be racist.
Right.
Yeah,
anymore.
there's
I always was before this.
Yeah, no,
drinking fountains and what have you.
Yeah. No, yeah. There's clearly a line, and you can't cross it. There's, The problem is that I feel like right now the line is made with pencil and it just keeps going further.
Kind of poetic.
And further and further.
It's like how they draw up districts right now. Like that's the line.
We're gonna go around here and then we're back straight.
We're back. There it is.
I still never understood that, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Traffic.
Traffic.
But that was my thing with like the
Oh, they had a real passionate traffic.
Yeah, no, I love it. No, that was my thing with like the Woodward Dream Cruise.
Oh, yeah.
Of like you're in traffic all day.
Yeah.
And then you're like, honey, could you imagine a husband for the first time telling his wife of like, we're going to do the Dream Cruise. You want to sit in traffic some more? We're going to do that.
I don't know what's worse, the people that just want to sit in traffic or the people that want to watch traffic. I don't know which side is more idiotic because
it's crazy.
when I was on my way here, I saw that, I'm passing by like parking lots where people are paying money to park their car to then go in the median and on Woodward and then just look at cars.
The
just
level
look
of
at cars
hilarity
driving.
that is.
There's so many things. They're spending money to just look at people drive slow. Not even NASCAR driving fast.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
comparison.
Somebody might die. There's excitement here.
Yes.
This is just people, a whole bunch of people just obeying the speed limit and all the laws, just all using turn signals and all the things that. And then there's people that are infiltrating. I think there's just people that are using it for ads now, like because now I saw a Tide truck, and it was like it was a
Tide
big,
Pods at kids.
and it's just like I think I think it's getting that way, like the way that like ice sculptures, like there used to be like I swear when I was a kid, you go to like you go down, I forget where was it, downtown Plymouth.
I think Rochester.
In Rochester, yeah, and they have all of these, a Mickey Mouse and all of these and a swan and all these things. And then I was there a couple years ago, and then it's just like Chase Bank, and there's like they're literally carving advertisements into the ice now.
It's just like fidget spinners discounted at Earl's Dollar Tree.
Yeah, just like carved into the ice. And I'm like, so I think that the Woodward Dream Cruise is kind of getting in that direction.
Oh,
when I saw the Tide truck, and I was like, maybe he just had a Tide emergency that he had. Excuse me, I just burped in here.
It's all right.
What are the odds, though, that he just on Woodward? He had.
I gotta get to work. I'm late, but also
I have to take
like a discount on Tide Pods.
I got these coupons. So people see cars, but we have the internet, so you can see whatever
Google
car you
whatever
want.
you want.
You can't touch those. You can't touch the ones on the internet.
Nope. I don't know why. I
don't know why I want to touch the cars so bad, but it just bothers me that I can't be like, oh, let me open up the door. Let me.
It's kind of like a strip club thing to me, right? I don't see that appeal either.
No.
Maybe. Is it all related?
No, that's
this
totally
is all related.
Just like you can't touch. Yeah. It doesn't lead to. You don't get the car.
You don't get the
You're
car.
You're not in the car.
It's announced the same way. Now coming out Mercedes.
That's good.
It's somebody else's car. It's somebody else's car. It's not your car. You don't get to go home with the car. You don't get to look at the car.
You can't
touch
win
the
You
car.
can't put the car in your garage forever.
You can't do anything. And you're not even the only one looking at the car.
Everyone's
We're
looking at the
all
car.
looking at the car.
Yeah.
So you're not special either.
And you still have to wear pants.
Here's my thing. It's like then I look at these older cars and it's all original, whatever. It's like, listen, it doesn't have Bluetooth. It doesn't have good speakers. It's got no seatbelt. It's just a rope because apparently every parent ever was like, we didn't wear seatbelts.
I used my hand because I'm the Hulk.
We used the hand because I'm the Hulk. We didn't understand physics, but it's like all these like, oh, it's the original condition. It's stick shift because we're, in the 1400s. And you got to sit there and just
that's not a classic. That's a museum.
Yeah, exactly.
That belongs in a museum of like, you invented something before you figured out how to make it the right way.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
before you figured it out.
Before you figured it out. And now we're all driving around in unsafe, dangerous vehicles.
It's like a horse and buggy at the Dream Cruise. It'd be like, don't forget, we used to do this.
Remember where you came from. But that's my thing. Like if I had this it's a 1966 blue Mustang. It's like, yeah, but I'm not gonna put in the dial and see if Seabiscuit's winning the horse race. Like, what am I gonna do with this?
Yeah, unless I get to go in a time machine as well, I don't think I'm really gonna appreciate this because we've already invented better things.
Right. I'd like to see someone trying to sell the idea, like, you want to come to the Dream Cruise with me? And they're like, what's that? We're like, well, if you like funeral processions, you're gonna love the Woodward Dream Cruise.
Nothing else. No, there's no other area that has the same thing. Or you don't get to. There's not like a restaurant that serves old food that might kill you. That's like outdated.
It's expired.
That's
our thing.
just like this is the food they used to make in the 1800s before they had taste, before taste buds were invented.
Salt was discovered.
Before they had
it's
dopamine.
like yeah, isn't this crazy? People used to eat this, and I'm like, yeah, and it sucks.
Stop doing
We've
that.
improved this. It's just not an experience that I need.
Doing old things because they're old. Pass. Vince.
I feel like a lot of old people too, they have the dream cruise. So technically it could be a funeral for traffic. If
Could
one
you
of them dies.
imagine if it was like going
It's a
just
two
Somebody
for one.
died on the dream cruise, like just
It's
in
like
their
just
car,
like
a passenger.
flags
Just
like, well,
slowly
we're
come
already
up.
going.
we're already here, guys.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
That would be so fun. Someone's driving a hearse.
Do you
know.
have to? So the funeral? I've always wondered this. Maybe you guys know more about this because I haven't Googled it or anything.
Yeah.
For funerals, when the people have like a flag on their car and you have to let them cut in front of you and
Yeah.
whatever. Is there a law that says that you have to, or is
don't
that just an
know.
unwritten
I
rule
think
where
it might
you're
be
like, it's
etiquette.
just nice? Because I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry your friend died. GPSs exist. Figure out how the fuck to get
Right,
there.
go
'Cause
50 miles an
I
hour.
don't know why we all have to drive as we're one car.
Yeah, I was
to
having
get
a
to
good day, and I'm
what,
like, oh.
what year is this where we think that you're not going to be able to get to a place unless you follow the person in front of you? You'll figure it out. You have a phone. Like, I just never knew if that was a law
Yeah.
or if that was...
I feel like it might be because for that line I just said, I Googled what it's actually called. Procession.
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 So they got a name.
It got a name.
So it got a name. So
And-
that's
and-
something...
And the word etiquette popped out. I didn't read, so it might just be
It might just be a nice thing to do.
let them go.
So I can't get arrested, basically, by just being like,
I think you
figure
should
it
just
out.
join.
Maybe if the person,
Just add one. Just add it to the back of my car, and I get to...
if the person died of old age, maybe all their friends, that's all they know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's true.
Like my wife's aunt, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you guys directions." I'm like, "Okay, great. Give us the address." She just printed out pages from MapQuest.
Oh,
She printed out MapQuest.
Printed out MapQuest. Didn't even know what that. Yeah, it's crazy. I was like,
That website still exists?
Just send it to me through AOL Instant Messenger.
the blockbuster of maps.
That they still exist. Like, I can't believe that there's advertising companies that are like paying MapQuest to have their ads on their website.
There are real companies that
they're
must
like,
be doing that.
They're like, okay, well, there's so many other ways that are more convenient.
There's so many better ways.
Like just using binoculars.
They're
You're
like-
there's the building.
Like, they're still like family video.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, we still are around, guys. Don't know how
We don't
yet.
get it either.
Well, we figured it out. We figured out some way to still exist.
We don't even know where to buy DVDs anymore. We haven't had a new release.
I used to do door-to-door sales, and I remember this was a while ago, but still it's still insane to me when I knocked on somebody's door and they said that they didn't want to switch their home phone service because right now they're happy using 1010, 220 or 320 or whatever the phone number was. Like,
Yeah.
you remember when before you could make a long distance call, there was a company that you would dial 30 other fucking numbers before you press the phone number, and you'd be like, what, 1010 321, and then you'd be like, okay,
Now for the
1
real
2
number.
4 8, and you're just like, so many numbers.
You're like just using a TI-84 and just forget
It's just
what
like
you're
you
doing.
lose your track and then you got to start over. Like, you're still doing that. Like, I was like, I don't think that's cheaper. I think that's weird that
you
you're
doing
doing
long
that.
division? What
It's
are
like,
you
you don't
doing
have
there?
to buy what I'm selling you, but you should stop doing that.
Yeah.
I don't want you to buy this anymore, but I need you to stop.
Have you talked to
what you
any
could.
family members about this?
Do they know?
Does your whole family support this decision, or?
Give me your calendar. I need to know that you know what year it is.
Yeah, let me see this.
Let me see. Cats. Okay, that makes sense.
But speaking with the Dream Cruise, so on the west side, near Silver Lake Sand Dunes, some people also call it Sleeping Bear Dunes. I don't know if they're the same or not. I had to do a video shoot over there, and they had a Jeep invasion where people got these Wrangler Jeeps. And they did a parade thing, but they also went out on the sand dunes, and they were all like customized Wranglers, which I was like, I didn't know this was that specific of a thing. But I was like, well, at least you're customizing it to what you think is cool, even if it's just a bunch of Monster logos on it. But at the same time, like with the Dream Cruise, it just kind of goes back to the old stuff. It's like, yeah, this is what it used to be. It's like, yeah, but there's no flair anymore. It's just It's just the old thing.
It's just
I don't know. I just there's a thing. There's people that get really into stuff that I'm like, I never even knew that you could get into that.
Like,
I didn't know that was an
allowed
option.
to.
There's like a I don't know if it's a marathon or a race or something or a walk, and they walk the Mackinac Bridge, and they shut down the Mackinac Bridge. You know, the only way to get to the other part of our state. They shut it down all day. Good luck. Find another way. Swim. Get to the Lower Peninsula for all day so people can walk across a bridge. Just do that on your own. Don't.
So it's just a day where they're
They
just
just
like
shut down
where
a
everybody.
bridge.
Hopefully, they give people enough of a heads up.
I feel like it's a known
so
thing
you can
now.
plan your
just
vacation
stuck here.
accordingly. Where you're like, no, I'm not going home.
Well, yeah, I had
unless
to,
I
like-
swim, I'm not going home.
I found about it the day before, and I was like, oh, I guess I have to leave at 3 a.m. And I did. And I had to leave
Oh wow.
to miss it. There's cops and like military being like, this is a thing that matters. Like, well, stop it.
And everybody,
Our tax dollars are going to walking.
you couldn't just block off like one lane, put up some cones or something.
what I
Like
mean,
we
slow
gotta,
it
we gotta
down.
the whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing.
The whole thing. Mm-hmm. Not for all day. Not even just like give them an hour.
Could you?
And it's that one time a year where people like actually go to the UP, or people from
It
the UP
is.
actually
It's
go
like the end
down.
of
Like it's like
summer.
the one time.
It's coming up. I don't know
really
when it is, but
warm.
it's coming up.
Really?
like Labor Day-ish?
Why are they
Yeah.
doing it? Is this like raising money for cancer or
I don't
something? Or are
think
they
so.
literally just walking because they want to walk
I think
across it?
they do it because they've always been doing it. We're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, I'm not a big tradition guy. Some
No.
tradition, I get it because I'm like, that was cool and I'm glad that they continue doing it.
Nostalgia.
And nostalgia. I
Yeah.
get some things like that. And then other things I'm like, we all know this is silly, right? Are we all looking at this from the same perspective? Like you don't have to do this.
But Aunt Rita's gonna be pissed if you don't do that
Every
thing.
Sunday.
yeah.
If you don't do that thing, so help her.
So
This is all she has to live for.
that's what she's. So help her.
People say that. That's so vague.
You know,
It's such
so
a
help
vague
her.
expression.
With what?
With what? I don't even know
What
what
am I
that
helping you
means.
with?
I'm just like, all right, so I'm not going to do that thing then. Whatever you're talking about.
I don't want to find
Sounds
out.
like you don't like it.
Context.
Yeah,
See,
sounds-
words don't matter because that sentence didn't mean anything.
didn't mean anything.
But so help me.
But so help me.
That means something.
Families are weird. Mm-hmm. Do you have a family, Jeff?
Wow.
I was just created in a lab.
I was wondering how you and Batman were
I was
different.
invented. I wasn't even.
Just woke up.
I just. Yes, I'm the youngest of four. I have an older brother and two older sisters.
Nice.
And all of our names coincidentally begin with J.
So you're like,
There's a Jillian, and then a Jessica, and then a Justin, and then a Jeffrey.
so your parents were trying to do that 21 and counting, but they stopped after 4. They're like, nah, we're just
Well, actually, what it was is that my mom claims that they just legitimately liked the first three names that happened to begin with a J, and then for me, I was an extra accident. Like my dad had a vasectomy, and then
not real.
Science.
then they created me.
know that.
Then they had then they just didn't work, and then they were like, well, now we can't. What are we gonna name him? Billy? What do you mean? Like Jillian, Jessica, Justin, Frank?
They're going
like,
to
what do you- what do you do
know
at that
who we
point?
don't like.
Yeah, we got to give him another J name. So it was like, just think of a J name we like. Now then it was more specific, but yeah, then I got my parents are still together, and I still got both my grandparents on both sides.
Wow.
They're still around, so that's cool.
Find the odds.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. That means happy.
My girlfriend's cat is 100 years in cat years, still ticking.
Oh, really?
It's 20. It's like 21 or something
wow.
now.
Maybe that's like your superpower that you don't know yet. Of
Is
just like
that-
because the vasectomy.
I
didn't
won't
work.
realize it in 50 years, where I'm just like, everybody I've met just hasn't died.
No one
Just
can.
nobody dies.
That's
if I talk to you for more than 30 seconds,
Come on, keep talking.
it's just, I think this podcast had to do with it. We've talked enough, right? Like whatever. It's like a weird good luck Chuck type of a situation.
yeah.
It's like it can be rated G because it's like, yeah, no sex, nothing like that, no marriage. It's just, you just get to live forever.
Yeah, you just get to
I
live
just have to
forever.
talk to you for a little bit.
Yeah. Some people are just like, don't talk to me.
I'm looking to, I don't know. No.
No.
See you in the
It
street.
sounds like a curse.
Talk to me if you want to live forever. That'd be a funny T-shirt if you became like famous for that. Be like, I talked to Jeff and all I got was a shitty T-shirt and eternity. ...
And eternity. I forgot about that one. All right, Jeff. So I know you got your special coming out.
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little about that and where people can reach you and all that good stuff?
Friday, August 24th at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I will be on a show called Kevin Hart Presents The Next Level on Comedy Central. It's my first half-hour comedy special. If you want to watch it live with me, I'm going to have a viewing party at Zeke's Barbecue in Ferndale, a 9 mile just west of Woodward. And if you can't make it there, that's fine. You can also watch it on the Comedy Central website or on their app. Any TV provider login that you got, ask a friend if you don't have one, figure it out, and you can watch it. You can watch it online as well. So.
Beautiful.
What about any like social media stuff? You got any Facebook? Twitter,
Jeff Horste, Horste. You can find me on that on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and my website is jeffhorstcomedy.com if you want to see some when my upcoming dates are. And yeah. That's all my social media.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
Well, we'll
Snapchat, I got that. I don't use it that often. I go in spurts.
Perfect. All right. I think that's it.
Beautiful. We did it.
We did it.
Thanks for being on, Jeff.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.